Agent Power Huddle is a daily jumpstart, giving you all the tools you need to create an amazing real estate career. Led by top experts in the field, you'll learn how to sell more houses in less time while creating the life you want. Welcome to the Agent Power Huddle.
Good morning. Good morning. How is everyone today? Hope it's good because it's Friday. It's the first Friday in March. Okay, so today, last week we talked about, we've been talking about kind of like on a little video kick, right? So we had Krista Mayshore here talking about video. How many of you were here on that call and were really inspired by hearing Krista? As always, she's so inspiring. And then last week we had Sabrina Shaw on here talking about her tips to YouTube success. So how many of you are wanting to kind of make YouTube part of your regular strategy? Carrie, yes. Danny, Teresa, Joe, Patricia, Kelly, Emily. I've talked to Emily, Isabel. Okay, all right. I'm waiting for Tara to get here, so I'm just going to kill some time because today we all want to know, like, they talk. There's so many different strategies with YouTube. Oh, there she is. Okay, I can see her. I can see her. There's so many different strategies about YouTube, right? But the one thing that's really important, and this is actually kind of beyond YouTube. I mean, if you're doing any sort of video marketing, you want to make people click. You want to make people click, right? So, like I talk a lot about social media marketing. That's my forte, right? I can tell you anything you want to know about social media marketing. The thing about social media marketing, it's interruption marketing. So you have to be able to make people stop and click, right? So if you're going to be making people stop and click with a cool photo, you need to do that. If it's going to be with a thumbnail for a video, you need to do that. On YouTube, thumbnails are super important. That's part of the actual process. So I have a special guest today. I'm sure some of you know her, some of you probably don't, but if you don't, you're about to. So Tara Roy is one of my besties, and she's in Pennsylvania. Yes, Pennsylvania. I don't know where in Pennsylvania, somewhere in Pennsylvania. I'm in Seattle, so who knows? I don't know that side of the country. Anyway, so Tara is here, and Tara is like, first of all, she's like a Canva master. Like, I don't know anybody who knows Canva better than her. So, like, if you ever want Canva tips, just look at what Tara does because she is the Canva queen. And she's here today to teach you how she creates YouTube thumbnails. She makes it pretty simple. She's a very good teacher. So I hope that you can learn something today. And Tara, come on up, come on mute or come off mute. You're still muted, my dear. And you're muted. And you're still muted. Mm-hmm.
I might be a Canva master, but clearly I'm not a Zoom master. Good morning, everyone. How's everyone doing today? I'm so happy to be here, supporting video and how to get your YouTube thumbnails clickable. So I know that last week you learned from the awesome Sabrina Shaw. She's amazing. And the week before that was Krista, also completely amazing. So super duper cool. All right, so I'm going to share my screen with you here in a second. Let me know when you can see what I am showing you. All right, hold on. I need to get in presentation mode here. Sorry, guys. Presentation mode is on. All right, now sharing screen. All right, can we see my screen now? How to
Yes.
create amazing thumbnails. All right, how to create amazing thumbnails. And not only am I gonna, it's well, first of all, let's just talk about how it's much easier than you think. If you have the basic tools in Canva, then you're going to be able to make an incredible thumbnail. And not only is it easier than you think, I'm going to show you how to do it in 10 minutes or less. And I hope that this is a half an hour call, right, Nay?
It is. We got
Okay,
half hour.
so we're going to power through this PowerPoint because we're going to do a live presentation or live demonstration of how this is going to take 10 minutes or less. So let me just set my timer so I don't go too long on the prezo so that we can make sure that we get to the actual live demo because it's super duper easy. Once you get the rhythm of it, it's like boom, you'll get it. All right. So it's easier than you think because you only just have to follow a simple formula. And I do have a trick sheet, like a kind of like a cheat sheet on how to do this, which I will share with Lynea and her team that they can then post into the group so that you can have the cheat sheet. So you'll have these rules to follow when you're out there making your own thumbnails. Okay. So you just want to use 3 consistent elements. You're going to use 2 simple suggestions. And then we're going to do a few easy steps in Canva, and we're going to do a live demo of that. Okay. So here are your 3 consistent elements. First of all, your style. So you want to come up with your style. What does your style look like? There are examples on Canva that you can actually pull. When I first started this, there were no examples on Canva. So I just had to make my own style, and I've kind of stuck with it because I sort of like it. So it's my style. But once you create your own style, you're going to see that you just follow the formula of that style. So this is what my style is, okay? I have a picture of myself. I have a textured background of some sort. It could be a picture. If there's not a picture, it's a textured background of some sort to giving me a layer behind me of some sort of texture. I also use really large words so that it's like, boom, you can see what this video is going to be about because there are my words. 3 big words, center square Easton. That's where I live in Easton. And this particular video was about the center of our city. I also put a shadow on my text so that it stands out. So super easy, just kind of like pop it out a little bit. There's a little bit of a background shadow on there so it stands out. And then I use, personally for my style, I use all lowercase letters. That's what I like. You can use all uppercase. You can use, I wouldn't suggest using cursive, but if you find a big, bold enough cursive font, you could use cursive. You just want to make sure that it stands out and it's readable. Because remember that when you're looking at a thumbnail, most people are going to be looking at thumbnails on their phones. So you want to make sure that your words are visible. Okay. And then I always flush my text to the opposite side of where my picture is. So if my picture is on the left, I'm flushing my words right. If my picture is on the right, I'm flushing my words left. And I kind of do back and forth so that when you look at my YouTube video channel, you can see it's like Tara, 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 Tara. And it's like goes in a zigzag. So that's how I do mine. That is my style. Okay. So you have to figure out what your style is. And again, there's now tons of examples in Canva that you can actually just pick one and then you can create your first one from there and use all of the elements thereafter. So as you can see, my style stays consistent throughout all of my thumbnails. Look at how I have a certain color. I have a certain style. All of them kind of look very similar so that when you go to my page, you're going to see this like beautiful bluey, purpley, those are my brand colors. And you're going to see that in my thumbnails because they all look the same style. Second element is your font. And you want to go bold when you're using your fonts for YouTube, right? So this is my special font here that I love, Chunk 5. It is bold. I use all of the lowercase elements of that. But as you can see, there are hundreds, maybe even thousands of fonts in Canva. There's a lot. So you wouldn't want to use something like Calgary here because it's super duper light and it's skinny and it's just not bold. You're not going to see it on an actual thumbnail. So you want to use something that's bolder. So something like a Bukhari strip or a script or an intro rust. You can see that I've circled ones that are a little bit bolder. Sometimes you can bold, if you really love a font, you can actually bold it. Sometimes it turns into a much bigger version of the original, but some fonts are not boldable. I don't know if that's a word, but I just made it up. They're not boldable in Canva. So make sure when you're picking a font, it's either already bold or you're able to hit that bold tab and make it bolder. So what I would do is go into Canva, and when you are in the text format here, see, I'm in chunk 5 right here. Are you guys seeing this blue circle that I'm seeing, or are you just seeing my arrow?
No, we got your blue circle.
Weird. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's a presentation.
It's Canva's presentation thing.
Okay. Well, it's big. It's chunky. Yeah. It's big. It's annoying me, but it's okay. You guys can see. So I'm circling here chunk 5 because that's where I'm at. But if you go into the text toolbar, just to type in thick or bold, and you're going to come up with a list of options that kind of fit whatever you're searching for. So not any of these, but a lot of these are going to be a good option for you. And you can scroll down, you can see the scroll bars all the way at the top. So you're going to be able to find loads of options if you are looking for a bolder, thicker font. Okay. So the third consistent element, we talked about style, we talked about font, now we're talking about color scheme. So you want to use your brand colors and you want to come up with a color scheme so that you have the same look and feel as you saw on this slide back here with all of my different thumbnails. They still have that same color scheme, right? So that's an important element of your thumbnail. So your color scheme, here's my color scheme. It's a little bit blurry there, but these are my this color and this color. These are the kind of colors, the purple and the blue are the colors that I use in my branding. But then I've thrown some gold in here as well. I don't really use the gold as much in my thumbnail, so I kind of concentrate on the bluey, purpley, pinky look of my thumbnails, as you could see from the previous screen. So probably best to use your color scheme if you can. If your color scheme is like way out there and it's really hard to like, if it doesn't look natural, if you're making it that color, then just pick a color scheme. If it's not your branded color scheme, just pick a color scheme and go with that color scheme throughout all of your thumbnails. Okay, so all making sense so far. And then once you create your first thumbnail, you're going to see that your thumbnail, the Canva actually picks up colors that are in your different thumbnails from, like, maybe this is from the textured background. Maybe there was that color pink in there. So you can kind of pick those up from your old thumbnails and just kind of use those consistent color schemes throughout. All right, so we talked about the 3 consistent elements. Now we're going to talk about 2 suggestions. And again, I will have a cheat sheet for you attached in the group so that you'll be able to go back and see all of these goodies that I'm teaching you today. All right, so 2 suggestions. Don't be too wordy, okay? So sometimes you'll see a thumbnail and it'll be like, wait, what does that say? I can't see it because it's so many words and they have to squish all those words into this tiny, tiny little thumbnail. So really you can take any idea, any thought, and put it into 3 or 4 words. So you need to be able to read it on a cell phone, right? That's big because most people are searching and scrolling on YouTube on their cell phones. Not a lot of us are sitting at our desktop looking for YouTubes. We're doing it in bed. We're doing it on the couch. We're doing it on the fly. We're doing it in a coffee shop. We're on our cell phone. So make sure that you can read it on a cell phone, which is why we want to use big and bold. And then also 3 to 4 words tops. And any title or topic can be shortened to 3 or 4 words. I'm going to show you right here. So example, say you're doing a video of the top 10 tips and tricks of selling your home. Now that is wordy. That is how many words? 1, 2, 3, and the little ampersand, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's 8 words and an ampersand. That's big. That's not going to fit on a thumbnail. It's going to be way too crowded and no one's going to be able to read it. So you can say top 10 seller tips. That's 4 words. You can say home selling tips. That's 3 words. You can say seller tips and tricks. That is 3 words and an ampersand. So see how you can take any topic and just shorten it down. You want to make sure to have a shortened version of whatever your topic is so that you can put it on your thumbnail and it's going to be big and bold and beautiful. All right. So looking at this, which is the first word I said, which was top 10 tips and tricks to selling your home. So here we have a guy. He's a realtor. He's in, I don't know, where does he look like he's from? He's like, I don't know. He's from San Diego. Let's say he's from San Diego.
I was going to say Seattle.
I was going to say Seattle first too, actually. Okay, so
like
he's from
Seattle.
He looks from, okay, so he's from Seattle. This is, what's his name? Henri. He's Henri from Seattle. That's where he's French. He's a French, he moved down from Canada. He's French Canadian. He's Henri. He's from Seattle. And he's like, I'm going to tell everyone what it's like to sell a house in Seattle. Top 10 tips and tricks for selling your home. Now, the reason I have this so small is because it's just kind of demonstrating for you, like, it's going to be small on a cell phone, right? So which one is going to be more visible on your cell phone? Cell phone. Henri saying top 10 tips and tricks for selling your home, or Henri saying top 10 seller tricks. See the difference there? Look at that. Boom. That is much more visible. You're going to be able to see that much bigger. It's stretched out, bigger words, bolder. And it's, my time is up, so I need to start doing it. I need to start doing my live demo in just a minute here. So let me fly through the rest of these slides. All right. So yes, we all agree that this one is the better of the choices. Okay. So go big as well. Big words, big faces, big fonts. Now, this is the abbreviated version. I'm glad I did this because I was like, at this point of my presentation, I'm probably going to have to start hurrying up. So I didn't do the animation. But so the second suggestion is to go big. Big words, big faces, big fonts. As you saw with Henri over here, we have a big face of him. We have big letters, big fonts. So it's looking good on your cell phone. You want to stand out. You want your topics to stand out. You want people to know what each video is going to be about. So go big. All right. So which thumbnail is going to stop the scroll? Just another example. Here we have Anna. Anna's in New Jersey. She's in her little hometown USA in New Jersey. She's got a full body picture there. She has some small font. How much does it cost? Oh, she's in Easton, PA. That's where I am. Sorry, she's not New Jersey. She's my neighbor. How much does it cost to live in Easton, PA? Which thumbnail is going to stop the scroll? Anna in Easton here or cost of living in Easton, PA? Big Anna face. Cost of living in Easton is bigger. This or this? This or this, right? See it? Big, bold Anna. We like it. There we go. This one, right? Putting them side by side. That one is going to stop the scroll. All right. So in review, quick recap, 3 consistent elements: style, font, and color scheme. And then 2 suggestions, not too wordy, shorten your topic down, and go big. Big picture, big words, big boldness on the font. Okay. All right. So that's it for my presentation. So let's go into a live demo. Hold on, I have so many Zoom controls up. I'm going to hide some of these so I can actually get to my screen. Hide floating. Okay, there we go. All right, so now I'm in Canva. Can you guys see my Canva screen?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to just, in order to create a thumbnail, I'm going to actually time myself so that you can see that this is 10 minutes or less. I'm going to set my little Pomodoro timer for 10 minutes. Wait, I did that wrong.
I love that you have an actual Pomodoro timer.
I do, and I use it, and I haven't used it in a while because I'm forgetting how to use it. There we go, 10 minutes. There we go, 10 minutes. We're going to do this in 10 minutes or less because I just want you to see how easy this is to do. All right, so you go to the create a design, and you're just going to easily hit YouTube thumbnails because it's already then the proper size for you. And it's going to open up a new screen for us, and we're going to get started. So, Lynea, give me a topic of what my video is.
Why you should buy a home right now.
Okay, so how can we shorten that down? Let's use our thoughts. And look, guys, just so you know, look at here. These were not available when I first started, so I created my own style. But if you hit YouTube thumbnails, you can actually just pick one of these styles of somebody else's that they created in thumbnail. It's created in Canva, and you can create one of your own, stick your own picture in there, and then you already have a template to go off of, okay? But I'm just doing this from scratch to show you how easy it is. So how much easier is it going to be when you actually have a template? Okay, so
Danny said buy a home now.
Buy a home now. Okay, great. Buy a home now. Let's get our text in there. Buy, I do all lowercase. Buy a home now. All right, Danny, thank you for that. I'm going to stretch this out a little bit. Gosh, this floating meeting panel is driving me crazy. It gets in my way. Now, this is automatically in League Spartan, so I'm going to change it to my chunk 5. There we go. And I am going to make these squish together a little bit more with my line spacing so I can make them even bigger, even bolder. And I'm going to flush them left because I think that we're going to be able to do. I uploaded a picture earlier of myself today sitting in my chair. Now, I like to do faces where I'm like, hey, buy a home now. It's an announcement. It's like, yes. And this picture is actually not great in color. So we're going to adjust the color. But first, I'm going to get rid of this background by going to Edit Photo and remove this background. We're doing this in 10 minutes or less, everyone. It's pretty cool. I'm going to make myself a little bigger here. I'm like, hey, everyone, buy a house, buy a home now. And I'm just going to adjust the colors on this because it's a little bit light. Let's look at some contrast here. Do some highlights here. Maybe do some shadows. Some vibrance. All right, I'm getting more vibrant. Do a little saturation. And let's sharpen it up a little bit. Give it some clarity. All right, that's much better than that, right? It's a little bit better. And you can play with that a little bit more. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a background. So if I'm saying buy a home now, let's look at our elements and look for homes. I'm going to look for a photo of homes and just put some homes in the background of my picture. So there's a row of homes. Those kind of look like they could be in my neighborhood. I'm going to flip that picture because I want those homes to be behind my words. And now I'm covering the whole picture with my homes, but all I need to do is go to position, and I'm going to put that in the back, that picture in the back. I'm going to change the color of my font to my purple. But this isn't looking very much like my branding, right? Because it's like got the red homes, it has the blue sky. It's not really that branded. It's not looking as branded to my colors. So here's my little trick that I do. I'll go into Element and I'll get a square. Oops, not a photo of a square. I'm going to get a shape of a square. I'm going to pull that shape out over my entire picture here, my entire thumbnail. I'm going to make that shape one of my branded colors. So let's go with a blue. Now I'm going to head up to this More button here, and I'm going to hit Transparency. And I'm going to pull back this transparency because I'm just looking for like a blue hue here. Okay, now keep in mind that your square is on top of everything else. So we're going to change the position of this blue square, and we're going to pop myself out of there. We're going to pop out my buy a new home or buy a home now. Let me just make sure that's in the front. All right. Now, it's a little bit more my color scheme because it has like a blue hue to it. Are we seeing that right now? But now my buy a home isn't really popping out over this because it doesn't have any background to it, right? So I'm going to simply copy and duplicate I did a Control C and a Control V where I've made the same exact letters. I'm going to leave that one on top. I'm going to go back to this one and I'm going to give it an undertone of, let's try this one. Get that where I want it. I'm going to put my letters on top of this. And then I'm just going to move it up about 8 or 9 spaces, and I'm going to move it over about 8 or 9 spaces. Now I'm looking at that and it's looking okay, but it's still not popping out to me. So maybe the purple's not right. Like maybe that's not the right color for this, right? You can sometimes have to play with it. Let's try blue. Does that look any better? Not really. So let's try, maybe we need to have a darker background and a lighter top. Let's try that. Let's go with that and that. I used to work at Berkshire Hathaway and I love their colors, so I keep them in my branding kit always because I love the color that they have. So now are we seeing a little bit how this is going to pop? And guess what, guys? It's been 7 minutes. It's been 6 minutes and 48 seconds, and there's my thumbnail. What do you think? Easy breezy?
Yeah, that was really, I learned some new tips that I hadn't learned before. Not gonna lie. I didn't know that you could do the font thing and search for like thickness of font. I didn't know that at all. That's
Yeah. So if you go
yeah.
in here, so just let me just open another page for you, give you some Canva tips while we're in here, since we have a whole extra 3 minutes that we didn't use to make this thumbnail. Um, if you go and you type something, you can have in your fonts. So let's say here's something that we're writing. You go into this area, here's where your fonts are. Say you want to just have anything that's like cursive or script. You can type in the word script. Everything that you have now on this list is a script. So you don't have to look through every single one.
Yeah, that's
If
pretty
you
cool.
want to get some tall letters, you can type in the word tall. You're going to find you're going to find options that are tall.
Hmm.
So
Cool.
any word, any descriptor, and they're not all going to work, but you just play with it. So let me see if skinny works. I don't know if skinny works. Nope. See, no results for skinny, but thin might work. There we go. There we have some thin lettering. Not all of them are, but you're going to scroll down a much shorter list than you would if you just had it
Hmm.
unsearched.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Who else knew how to do that? I don't know. Okay, so there's a couple of questions. Andrea said, what is the font on your title slides in blue? I don't know if you answered that one.
What is the font on my title slides in blue? Let's see. That is Bellaboo. Bellaboo. Bellaboo.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions? Was this helpful for you guys? See how easy it is? And
Yeah, that was
if you start with a template from Canva, if you can't design one on your own, start with a template, see how it's built, see how it's put together, and then just the next time you build one, start a new page and just replace the elements, and you'll get in a rhythm, and it's super easy. I mean, I can do a thumbnail in like 3 minutes if I'm really focused.
So a couple other questions. I think Isabel, was your question answered? You asked the question about the font size. She answered that, right?
Yes, yes, you did.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thank
And
you.
then Evangelia says, can you go over how you did your your brand coloring again?
Yeah. So let me go back into Canva real quick here. So there goes my timer for our 10 minutes. So my brand colors, just in picking my brand colors.
Was that the question, Evangelia? Can you just make sure we're answering the question right?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, you are. How
Okay.
that color
So
because the picture wasn't in your branding, so you did that solid color and then you did transparency and then you did something else. I missed it.
so when you're in Canva, this is what's called your brand kit in Canva. And my colors for Tara Roy Loves Real Estate, these are just the colors that I tend to use more. I don't really use pink in any of my marketing, but it ends up being a hue in my thumbnails. So I put it into the brand coloring here. So you create, like, if say your brand colors are a certain gold and a certain gray, like a dark gray and a gold or something like that, you would put those into your brand. You create a brand kit in Canva, and then you always have those colors available for you. And when you grab a square, you can like pick that color and then fade it out a little bit. Did that make sense? I hope that answered the question.
Yes. Yeah, no,
Okay.
like how you actually did it on the thumbnail. You know how you put a big square and then you picked your brand color and then you did transparency and then you did something else.
Oh, the only thing I
You
did
added
after
like a
that,
layer or something.
yeah, the only thing I did after that is I made sure to position it behind, because when you first pick a square, let me just show you again real quickly. When you first pick a square, oops, that's not the square I want. So when you first pick a square and you cover your whole screen with it, right? It's covering your whole
Mm-hmm.
screen.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I'm going in and I'm actually picking one of my colors, I'm picking this color, purple. It's
Okay.
now covering the whole thing. I'm going into transparency. I'm pulling that transparency back so you can see it, but you can
Mm-hmm.
see it's on top of me right now. So I'm very faded in the backgrounds. So
Mm-hmm.
all you do is you go into position and you change the position of where that square is. So right now, the position of that square is on top of everything because it's the last element that I put on the screen. If I
Okay.
hit backwards, all of a sudden my words are going to pop out. If I hit backwards again, the other words are going to pop out. If I hit backwards again, now I'm popping out. Now the
Oh,
layering position of this square is just on top of the photograph, which is behind everything else.
okay. That's what I missed. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome, of course.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions that I can help you with?
Luma says, how do you overlay your picture in the house picture? It's very similar to what you just did, right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, got it.
Yep. So really I started kind of backwards. I started with my own picture before I started of the house pictures, but if you're having trouble with layering and then the positioning, start with your main picture behind. The first thing you put in your main picture, then put your letters and then put your picture of
Got it.
yourself on there.
Thank you. Got it. Yeah.
You're welcome. Sure. All right, anyone else? Do we need to do a Canva class, Linnea, for one of these
I
meetings?
mean, we totally could. I'm sure people, I mean, everyone needs help with Canva. Deanna has her hand raised.
Yes, Deanna.
Real quick, Tara, I was wondering, is there an easy way, or how do you suggest adding things to your brand as we go along and we like, hey, we like this color now. Is there an easy way to throw that into our brand kit?
Of course, you can just edit your brand kit anytime you want in Canva, and you could just add whatever colors are calling to you for sure. Yeah, it's just an easy fix. Just go to your settings in your brand kit and just add.
Awesome. I'll have Preeti go back and watch this too, because she's now responsible for doing my YouTube thumbnails. So this will be really helpful for her too. Danny said, why did you choose to do all lowercase?
It's a stylistic thing for me. I just really like it. I tend to when I'm doing something like a thumbnail, like I feel like either with thumbnails, you either want to go all lowercase or all uppercase because when it's such a small space, right? So if you have an upper and a lowercase together, it just takes up too much space. It's a spatial thing, I think, with the actual thumbnail.
I just like the look of some font in all lowercase. You and I
Yeah,
talked about that a
same.
lot. Yeah.
Same.
Awesome. Is there any more questions before we announce next week? No? Okay. Tara, thank you
You're
so much
welcome. It's
for
my
being here.
pleasure.
Tara, I just have a question. Do you help real estate agents? So that's the question that's always going to come up is how do we find help? Like if they need help, do you help real estate agents with thumbnails?
I do. I actually have a few real estate clients who have me build their thumbnails for them. So if you ever need help, Linnea, I help Linnea with some of her branding and things as well. I do a little branding on the side. It's like I come from a world of advertising technology and I was in advertising for over 19 years before I started real estate, which is probably why I'm obsessed with Canva because I've just been creative and design has been part of my background for a really long time. So I'm a full-time realtor, but I have a little side business that is a branding company. So if you ever need help with logos or brand colors or coming up with what your taglines are or anything like that, you can just DM me and we can talk about it.
I love it. Okay. And then, sorry, one more question, and then I want to make next week's announcement. So hang in because you guys are not going to want to miss next week. I promise you. Is there a list of poses that are necessary to have for your YouTube thumbnails? It's a good question.
It's a great question, and it's funny because a while back, I posted a picture on my Facebook page of like it was probably like 40 little Taras. It was just funny because I took a snapshot of my camera roll because it was like me like just picture after picture after picture. I would say wear a color that represents your brand and just do a camera, like just do like 100 snapshots. Do any poses you want. It doesn't even have to be like a crazy pose, like with your mouth open or anything. Just like do something different every time. If you're gonna, one tip though to remember is if you're going to do something like point your finger or put your hands in front of your mouth, everything has to be tight within your body. Because what you don't want to do is have like go like this, because it's gonna cut off from the thumbnail. It's gonna be too much. It's not gonna be pointing to the words. So think of the picture that you're seeing me in right now. If I'm like over here, the words are gonna be here, and my finger's not pointing to anything. So you want to be like like everything within your body.
I love it. I love it. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, so next week, or Joe, you were saying something, Joe? I don't know if you were talking. Okay, cool. Like I'm watching visual cues on
That
you.
was great. Thank you. That's
Oh,
what I
you're
was
welcome,
saying.
Joe. I'm so glad it was helpful. And I will be sending, Lynea, I'll send you that cheat sheet which outlines all the elements and stuff so that everybody can see it if they'd like it.
Awesome. Okay, so next week, you guys, we are going to have Julie. I cannot say her last name. I don't want to even butcher her last name. I'll ask her before next week. But anyhow, so Julie, she has really mastered the art of events. Like she does super, super creative events. And I have to tell you that this year, from just database events alone, she's closed 50,000 in GCA. She has 45,000 under contract. She has 6 active clients with an average price point of $550,000, 4 referrals, all from events. That's it. It's nothing else. So if you want to learn, she sent me her presentation. I've already looked at it. It's pretty awesome. I'm like, can you come now? Can you just do it now? But anyway, she's going to be here next week, and she's going to give you her blueprint for events, like what events should you do, and how to do them, because she's pretty much mastered this in a way that I haven't seen anyone else do it before. So make sure to register for next week. And thank you again, Tara.
You're welcome. My pleasure. Julie's awesome. So I love that.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah, she's pretty awesome. So
Thank
okay.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Tara.
If you'd like more information or to get connected to the Agent Power Huddle, join our free Facebook group. This call was designed for the agents in our EXP organization, but open to any agent from any brokerage. If you're a guest and you're interested in learning more about EXP or our specific resources within the Agent Collective, reach out to the person who invited you to this call to get more info. Produced by the Agent Collective Media Network.